Alright, and video stream is on.
Wow. Did you know that? More than 99% of the species that have ever existed are now extinct.
Yep.
Yeah, there have been some big mass extinctions.
Goddamn humans.
The Permian and the Cretaceous.
Oh, and most of those were before humans even came along.
Well, humans made it go quicker.
Yeah, humans did make it go pretty quick.
Assholes.
Oh.
Sorry.
Mostly
It's okay.
caused a surprising amount in a very, very short time.
Mm-hmm.
Relative to the big mass extinctions, which were slower but killed almost everything on Earth repeatedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not
Cool.
just completely broken. I think I need to update Flash.
Hmm.
I mean utterly broken. It's even told me Flash failed with load, contact support, switch Twitch.tv.
Yikes.
Just busting. At least in the morning.
Join us tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Oh, that's you.
Yep. So, good evening, Internet. It is 8:06 p.m. Central Time on Saturday, June 17th, 2017, and this is Throne of Games. I'm your host, Mark Amstry, DJ Amstrack. We have Daniel. Daniel's dad is here for the time being. I don't know how long he'll be joining us for, but introductions, that's who that is back there.
Say hi to the internet.
Okay.
Say hi to the internet.
Hola. ¿Cómo está? Hello. How you doing?
And tonight we are going to be playing everything. I've only seen the very, very beginning of this game, and I didn't want to watch any more than that because I just wanted to experience it for myself. It's what little I know is very difficult to describe, so let's just,
Buckle up for some weird!
yeah, that's a great way of putting it. Let's buckle up for some weird. do.
Lord Bobbery says, oh, just everything? That shouldn't be too overwhelming. Everything is loaded.
This game belongs to
Hey,
Clumsy.
like one says, it might take a while though.
Is this the beginning? When did this start?
Press X to think.
What am I? I'm an Okapi? That is just so weird.
So, what are you?
I appear to be an Okapi.
I believe the game tells you,
Yep, you are Okapi. Dots info added under help. Opened animal category. There's an armadillo. Here comes the sun. I shouldn't complain. It'll pass soon enough. There's that thing over there. Are there any more thoughts? Ooh, there's something way over there.
Whee! Hey, look, vultures.
Camels. Okay, that vulture is thinking something. But I don't think I can do a good job of getting up to it. Goats. Fox.
Dead silence from the chat, who are probably like, what is happening?
Every day is the same, and I can never tell exactly when I'm finished. Everything just keeps going. That's a bit better.
Go for it.
This will all make sense. Don't give up. I'm not sure I believe that. Keep looking and you'll find it.
Thanks, Rock. That's just how you move.
Hi, Clumsy. You found me, finally. We've been waiting for you for such a long time. Notice my thought had the icon. Look out for others with this. We're here to show you what you're able to do and help you navigate everything. Good luck.
Yeah, so where's that rainbow icon that looked like that thing, like, away from?
Over
There's
there.
one.
Hold on first, though. There's another thought over here. Whee! There's nothing. Mm-hmm. Zebra. Spring is my favorite time of year. It's when my colors really come out to shine. Okay, well, that thing's right there. I'll go ahead and check it out. It's a camel. Hello, camel. Everything sings. Singing is how all things communicate. Singing helps things find or avoid one another. It deepens bonds between some things and separates others. It's how things announce their existence. So, sing all day long. I want to hear what you sound like, and so does everything else. If other things hear you, they might sing back. Giraffe.
Let's sing to those rocks. That didn't work. Oh well. Yeah, so you can like look at your path from the side. That looks so freaking silly.
The sun just burns me alive, and the moon stares deep into my aching skin. Skin? Skin.
Skin.
What's up there?
What's this butt thinking about?
Turtle. It's an interesting sound. Hey, how far back do you think okapis go? You might not always feel it, but you took trillions of generations of okapis getting mixed up all the way back to forever. It's incredible you made it through and finally arrived here. The other okapis around here are reflections of you from back then, each with their own dreams and their own lives to live. As you meet other okapis, you will sometimes feel inseparable from them. And find where you really start and end is up to you.
Join things.
Yeah, I'm actually not touching it right now. It's going on its own.
It's cruise control for Okapi. Okapi, it's cruise control for deer.
Where are you going,
Where's it
buddy?
going?
I don't know.
Move the camera around so you can see what it's even doing. Can you move the camera?
Probably not without interrupting it.
Yeah, you should definitely move the camera.
And it stops.
What is happening? Yeah, very good. See if we can't find some other Okapi. Hey, that's our spot again.
What doesn't hurt you can only prolong your inevitable death.
Atlas Tree, brought to you by Tree Nihilism.
Okapi.
Press V when you get close.
Oh, that one is not yet part of our group.
Yeah, your entire village. And now that icon, the talk looks weird. Remember, he says, that's not true, it also speeded up. Why when you sing as a big group? About what do you expect? Okay. Cool.
Go.
Roll past that goat.
Fox. I don't think I missed any of the Okapi. Oh, no, wait, there's one. Is that another one, or is that something else? Here's another one. I will find all the Okapi. Those are camels.
Which one's you?
I'm not sure anymore.
That rock looks like it has something brings it. That rock.
There you are. Over time, you might find there's no right or wrong path to take here. As you explore, you might feel that parts of you need to go their own direction, because you can't control everything at once. At least not yet. Try letting go of a few things. Huh. See. Well, not yet. This is going to be the last of this spring sun. I made a deal with someone who guaranteed it. What?
Dang, tree. What have you done? Letterbugry says, this is an amazing herd.
Isn't it? Majestically rolling across the savannah. Ooh, more Okapi. You're off on a great adventure. I wish I could join you. Maybe one day I'll be able. That looks like another Okapi.
Join the Nightmarish Okapi Collective.
We're a gang.
Don't question it. Just do it.
We're on patrol.
We're just keeping this thing safe. One says Q David Attenborough.
Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Another one. Join us, brother. Ooh, there's something with the thought. Charge.
Thought police rolling through.
Thought police, thought police. If it gets any more sunny, I'll have to move. I didn't come all the way here for sun.
A desert? You didn't come to a desert for sun?
You're a plant.
Did you come here for the sand? 'Cause that's all you're gonna find around here.
Party's gotta be going on somewhere that I'm not invited to. As long as you keep moving in any direction you choose, that will take you where you need to go. Thought bubble.
Can you sing it on the wall? What a terrible battle cry.
Wait. They're making interesting,
Yeah, I think you're startling the camels. Or reading them out or something.
Look closely and you'll find what you're after. Don't get discouraged, everything is here to help you. Some things will help you on your journey. Other things are just thinking about themselves and the situation they're in. You can trust all of them or none of them. It's up to you.
How about some of them?
Aha. Finally, springtime. I've been waiting for this. Oh, you're a camel.
Euro Camel 2076.
I feel pain today, but I'm stronger than it is. Whatever happens to me, I am at peace.
Over you, Boulder.
They are migrating on their own. Would you mind grabbing me a drink?
I despise doing that. That's like a terrible idea.
Do please. Thank you. Urgh. No, wait, I saw a cloud over here. Where did it go? Like a thought bubble. Here's one. This is one of the warmest springs I've ever lived through. Something is up. Might you say it's a hot spring?
That sounds good.
There's the thought bubble. Remember this place and remember what you are. Keep it in mind as you go beyond here. You might need to find a way back to it.
How about that prismatic icon?
I have not seen one in a while.
We need Justin without me next year.
Maybe they will like it over here. Oh hey, there's another Okapi. It's either too hot or too cold. I feel good for about 5 minutes every day, so I try to sleep my way through the rest of it. Wait, thoughts absorb what? Absorb into the mind, press the M key to open it.
It's all those thoughts to you, Bart. You're talking to things.
Sure, I'll drop some Okapi off there. Have fun, guys.
What would happen if you're like storming across the desert and held to see this leave a line of
I'm real, right? I have to be. I've seen other rocks and they seem kind of real and sort of look like me. Maybe they're slightly less real, though.
That is one Velociraptor rock.
Is it a Philosopher's Stone? As you wander around, you might sometimes feel a bit lost. That's normal, and you don't need to worry about it. Lots of things have passed through here and felt the same, but eventually everything finds what it is looking for. As you wander around, you might sometimes feel... Oh, you just said that. Or your friend just said that.
Like one says rock solipsism.
Hey, what do you make of all the small things around here? All the plants and little creatures, are they here for you, or are you here for them? It's hard to imagine that everything could be here for each other, because you can only see things from a Okapi's perspective, just as I can only see from a Agave Stricta's perspective. But if you want to, you can always see things from a little thing's point of view. Try it. I can cactus. I can cactus across the world. You are a San Pedro cactus.
Cool. Can a cactus sing?
Not very well.
Can you sing to other plants? So like cacti or... What do you think about tree?
I've been thinking about other trees all afternoon. I can't imagine a more beautiful thing than a tree.
You should make a nightmarish army of cacti.
I wonder if I can. I mean, I should.
Just find some more cacti like yourself.
Yep. Well, I think there were some other ones back here. Yes.
That would be terrifying. A wall of cacti diggling across the desert.
Hi, friend. It looks like you've seen things from the little thing's point of view. Now you might be wondering what it's like to see things from the other way around. To see things from bigger things' point of view. Out of all the points of view you find, which one is the right one?
Hey, could us like be a tree or something.
Barrel cactus. No, I'm really tiny. Dead grass. Sedivaria. Oh, my Sedivaria. Conch. Lightning Whelk. Sand chunk. Small.
You make friends with other sand chunks. How's the sand chunk say?
Pachyphytum oviferum. Sandstone pebble.
How's that thing sing?
Scallop shell. Ooh. Ant. Ooh. There is something over there. Not sure how far over there. Your dad fell asleep.
A little bit.
What there is.
I find it a little difficult to say what the subject matter of this seminar is going to be, because it's too fundamental to give it a title. I'm going to talk about what there is. Now, the first thing, though, that we have to do is to get our perspectives with some background about the basic ideas which influence our everyday common sense, our fundamental notions about what life is about. Ideas of the world which are built into the very nature of the language we use, and of our ideas of logic and of what makes sense altogether. And these basic ideas I call myth, not using the word myth to mean simply something untrue, but to use the word myth in a more powerful sense. A myth is an image in terms of which we try to make sense of the world.
Okay, that appears to have ended.
He covered
Larry,
every
your
rocks.
co-host tonight?
Seems that way.
Welcome to Old Folks Night on Throne of Games. Parents hanging out.
You press V to get in between.
Is this the place where the pronghorns are?
Mm-hmm.
So everything travels like that.
Yep.
The
I'm a tooth.
Oh, how weird.
Yep, I am Tooth. Another Sedvaria told me about the spring, but I wasn't expecting it to be so beautiful.
Oh, that's sweet.
Hey, you can see the roots.
Lightning Wilk. Oh, yeah. I don't know if I'll make it past the spring. My food has been running out and it's been just too much for me. Wild barley. I don't really know what I am, but I know I'm not you unless you make me somehow. Scorpion.
Scorpson.
Deathstalker Scorpion. Gaster Haworthia. I have a job to do, even though it may not look like that to you. But I have to be here to do this. You have a job too, Clumsy. Now get back to your job and leave me alone. Aw.
Ruby says, no one will see us stalk if we move like this.
A world that peoples.
You, as a human being, you grow out of this physical universe in just exactly the same way that an apple grows off an apple tree. So let's say the tree which grows apples is a tree which apples, using apple as a verb. And a world in which human beings arrive is a world that peoples. And so the existence of people is symptomatic of the kind of universe we live in. Just as hair on a head is symptomatic of what's going on in the organism. But we have been brought up not to feel that we belong in the world. So our popular speech reflects it. We say, I came into this world. You didn't. You came out of it. We say, face facts. We talk about encounters with reality. As if it was a head-on meeting of completely alien
soil
agencies. And the average person has the sensation that he is a somewhat that exists inside a bag of skin, a center of consciousness, which looks out at this thing and what the hell's it going to do to me? I recognize you. You kind of look like me, and I've seen myself in a mirror, and
Hellebore pollen.
you look like you might be people.
That's it, that's it.
So maybe you're
That's
intelligent.
it,
Maybe you can love too.
It's.
And maybe perhaps you're all right. Some of you are anyway. You've got the right color of skin, or you have the right religion, or whatever it is, you're okay. But there are all those people over in Asia, Africa, and they may not really be people. When you want to destroy someone, you always define them as unpeople.
So how's this thing seem?
It didn't really make much of a noise.
Just doing it real quick.
Uh-huh.
Some kind of bacteria?
Streptomyces.
Yep, bacteria. Let's get together and cause an infection.
Yeah.
Woo! Bacteria song.
What are you, though? Some sort of pollen,
More
I would
pollen.
guess. Oh, no. Go home. I was busy ignoring you. Enjoy the rest of my life. Ragweed.
Ugh.
Now I am very tiny. Silicon. I don't know what my history is. Morning Glory Pollen.
Psychiatric, let me see him. What does it say?
Heliobacter pylori. Life mostly involves going out and entangling yourself with others. But I want to show you another way of getting mixed up. A very beautiful thing you can do, and that's dancing. To dance is to move in a pattern and not towards anywhere in particular, to make yourself the destination and enjoy never quite arriving. Dancing always takes two, but the more the merrier. Everything dances a little differently, so try doing it with different things. Press 8 to dance. I have to go record my life real quick, though. BRB.
What Bree says, I didn't expect that we could get so small.
Yeah.
I want to see how this thing sings. Maybe singing wasn't spacebar. I thought it was.
Okay, ow.
Singing is spacebar, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You see Heliobacter distance and sing loudly.
Yeah, it goes.
Time to find another one. Dance.
Sand grain. It's another sand grain. Soil mite.
I'm going to those.
Can we be friends? Can I be friends with myself?
Oh, you're both singers.
What?
I think dancing makes more things.
We're making sand. The eye at the top of the screen shows when new arrivals are ready. Press X.
I can't see anything in the chaos field that you're making. Maybe I just raise activity again with something else and somewhere a little less murky.
Mm. Ooh.
We have this hostility to the external world because of the superstition, the myth, the absolutely unfounded theory that you yourself exist only inside your skin. Now, I want to propose another idea altogether. Billions of years ago, you were a big bang. Now you're a complicated human being. But so we define ourselves as being only that. If you think that you are only inside your skin, you define yourself as one very complicated little curlicue, way out on the edge of that explosion, way out in space and way out in time. And then we cut ourselves off and don't feel that we're still the Big Bang. But you are.
Campylobacter jejuni.
Depends how you define
Oh,
yourself.
those things.
You are actually, if this is the way things started, if there was a Big Bang in the beginning, you're not something that is a result of the Big Bang. You're not something that is a sort of puppet on the end of the process. You are still the process.
What?
Said Milady.
You are the Big Bang, the original force of the universe, coming on as whoever you are. See, when I meet you, I see not just what you define yourself as, Mr. So-and-so, Miss So-and-so, Mrs. So-and-so. I see every one of you as the primordial energy of the universe coming on at me in this particular way. I know I'm that too. But we've learned to define ourselves as separate from it.
Everything can sing and dance, so it's pretty awesome. So it's like a thing, you just like, see how everything sings and dances.
I'm doing what it's doing. It's doing what I'm doing. What are you doing?
Being more pollen, probably.
That looked like a thing. Giant bellflower pollen. Now what are you? Are you just DNA? Yep.
Yep. How does DNA sing?
Neat.
Like, already a whole bunch of it. How's it dance?
Well, no, this is only one.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Are you very sure about that?
Oh, I thought I was.
You appear to have been many.
I thought it was just one long strand.
Oh, cool. It's swirling around a big old dragon. Yeah, when you had it sing and it went like... I looked up and saw, according to the little icon, you were many. That's cool.
Silicon. I can descend further?
You know it.
What? What even is this? What am I? I am Sphere. Sphere me.
How does sphere dance and sing?
I don't know, but now I'm this thing.
How does that sing?
Convex stellated polyhedron.
Damn, these little polyhedrons. Well, Wolfram Alpha and this shiz. It's getting dark.
Light night, light night, light night, light night, light night, night night, light night, light night, light night.
Okay, thing. Ooh. I can't see the dance. It's too dark. What are they doing? Wasn't there more light earlier?
There was.
Where'd it go?
I don't know.
Spin the camera around. Maybe there's a brighter area somewhere.
Well, I didn't want to lose that thing.
Ah. Really? Are you sufficiently small that those little streaks we keep seeing are light?
Plank length. Opened 1D category. No such things as things.
What I would call a kind of a basic problem we've got to go through first is to understand that there are no such things as things. That is to say, separate things. That is only a way of talking. If you can understand this, you're going to have no further problems. I once asked a group of high school children, what do you mean by a thing? And first of all, they gave me all sorts of synonyms. They said it's an object, which is simply another word for a thing. It doesn't tell you anything about what you mean by a thing. Finally, a very smart girl who was in the group said a thing is a noun. And she was quite right. A noun isn't a part of nature, it's a part of speech. There are no nouns in the physical world. There are no separate things in the physical world either. See, the physical world is wiggling. The clouds, mountains, trees, people are all wiggling. And only when human beings get working at things, they build buildings in straight lines and
How do
try
you
and make
descend
out that the world isn't really
beyond the
wiggling.
plank length?
But here are we sitting in this room all built on straight lines, but each one of us is as wiggly as all get out.
I don't know, but I think you're a galactic supercluster now.
Yep.
Whoa. Yeah, those things take a dance. It's quite a powerful active creation there.
Mm-hmm.
The entire superstar cluster. Okay, now you're going to be a galaxy.
Lenticular galaxy.
When Robbie says we're all made up of tiny universes, deep.
People, they come together. Everything does it differently, while it does everything differently. And everything it does is different. Also, all of it is the same. People, they come together. People, they fall apart. No one can stop us now. 'Cause we're all made of stars.
You're in a regular galaxy or something.
Diffuse nebula. A purpose within a pattern, a shape with no center, an area with no space. It's all going on around you. Ooh. Thoughts are the friction between things and other things. Thoughts would never exist if everything thought it was the same thing. As you go around listening to things, their thoughts will make impressions on your mind. When you go out and experience life, you will have your own thoughts, and they will reflect the things you've listened to and absorbed. Give thinking a go. Just try not to take it too seriously. Every day, so I feel a bit lost. That's normal and felt the same. Getting hold of the wiggly world.
Now then, when you want to get control of something that wiggles, it's pretty difficult, isn't it? You try and pick up a fish in your hands, and the fish is wiggly and it slips out. What do you do to get hold of the fish? You use a net. And so the net is the basic thing we have for getting hold of the wiggly world. A net is something regular. And I can number the holes in a net. So many holes up, so many holes across. And if I can number these holes, I can count exactly where each wiggle is in terms of a hole in that net. But in order to do that, I've got to break up the wiggle into bits. And I've got to call this a specific bit, and this the next bit of the wiggle, and this the next bit, and this the next bit of the wiggle. And so these bits are things which I mark out in order to talk about the wiggle, in order to measure it, and therefore in order to control it. But in nature, in fact, in the physical world, the wiggle isn't bitted. So the world doesn't come thing. You and I are all as much continuous with the physical universe as a wave is continuous with the ocean. The ocean waves, and the universe peoples. And as the wave, I wave at you and say, you. The world is waving at me with you. And saying, hi, I'm here. But the way we feel and sense our existence, being based on a myth that we are made, that we are parts, that we are things, our consciousness has been influenced so that each one of us does not feel that.
This most certainly isn't real.
We have
You
been
are.
hypnotized, literally hypnotized by social convention into feeling and sensing that we exist only inside our skins. That we are not the original bang, but just something out on the end of it. And therefore we are scared stiff. My wave is going to
Everything is
disappear.
different and all things are the same. There can
I'm
be
gonna
nowhere to go
die.
because you're everywhere.
And that would be
The
awful.
process will keep going and staying still at the same time.
Oh, star sign. Twinkle, twinkle. You can descend.
Mm-hmm. You reflect yourself over and over, a great mirror moving through space. All these stars are your brothers and sisters.
Twinkle, twinkle. 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 Twinkle
You're here to enjoy the universe and everything it has to offer, and it is here to enjoy everything you have to give. Eternity is the dimension of here and now, and nothing else. To experience it is the function of life, and you're doing it.
Your constellation.
Yep. All colors are friends of their neighbors, and the lovers of their opposites, and all of them have one origin.
That's a weird thing to say about colors.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Theory worth betting on.
You are a fluke. You are a separate event. And you run from the maternity ward to the crematorium, and that's it, baby. Now, why does anybody think that way? There's no reason to, because it isn't
There's
even
no such thing as
scientific.
chance, luck, and accidents,
It's just
but
a myth.
very real experiences of all.
And it's invented
it depends
by
on what you
people
look from.
who wanted to feel a certain way. They want to play a certain game. Camus said there is only really one serious philosophical question, which is whether or not to commit suicide. Should you or not commit suicide? This is a good question. Why go on? And you only go on if the game is worth the candle. Now, the universe has been going on for an incredible long time. And so, really,
Things are coming together
a
finally
satisfactory
at last, and
theory of the
originally
universe
as they always were.
has to be one that's worth betting on.
Spiraling shape.
It seems to me, absolutely elementary common sense.
Everyone wants to see
If you make a
that
theory of the universe which
groovy
isn't
thing.
worth betting on, why bother? Just commit suicide.
No one knows what it's really.
But if you want to go on playing the game,
Everyone
you've got to have an
says it's
optimal theory for
great.
playing the game.
And they heard it from the spiral in their eye. Elliptical galaxy. This could lead to excellence or serious injury. Something, something, da da da. No, no, knows. Large neutron star.
Were you a neutron star before?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I thought you were a star, then that's okay.
I had been a neutron star at one point. The longer change is observed, the more it ceases to happen. The less time that goes by, the more that happens in it.
That sounds deep, except it's also inevitable. Well, that's just kind of how things work. Can you go down again? Work yourself down to a planet, and then down to the planet's surface. And hang out with weird alien animals.
Ooh, ooh.
For the universe that's within a, what are you in exactly? I forget how you got down here.
I descended from the plank length.
Yeah, how'd you get there? Was it through looking at him?
It was whatever it was at that atomic level, subatomic level, long before neutron stars were around.
Careful if the critters come by that can.
Long before neutron stars were around, far back through something that spread into every star everywhere. Something all stars still share here and now. You may find you aren't just neutron star, but every star in existence, an expression of this great pattern known as stars. Everything secretly knows this, and you know it too. Flock mode by holding Q.
I could join up similar things, not just the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Star Party. Yeah, I'm to follow that source of stamps.
If there is any such thing at all as intelligence and love and beauty, well, you found it in other people. In other words, it exists in us as human beings. And as I said, if it is there in us, it is symptomatic of the scheme of things. We are as symptomatic of the scheme of things as the apples are symptomatic of the apple tree or the rose of the rose bush.
Time allows change to be observed. Without it, there would be both nothing and everything happening at once. Time never brings things into nothing, but into what is yet to be.
Infested with living organisms, any more than your skeleton is bones infested with cells.
Infested?
The Earth is geological, yes, but this geological entity grows people. And our existence on the Earth is a symptom of the solar system and its balances, as much as the solar system in turn is a symptom of our galaxy. And our galaxy in its turn is a symptom of the whole company of galaxies. Goodness only knows what that's in.
Feedback sphere. Tetracloud.
Whatever that is.
Same.
Force. 11 is 14.
But no, it's saying 1/1.
Oh, 1/1 is 1. It is. Anything over itself is 1. At least you're reasonably lit in this game. You can gather more of these things and make a dance. This fear is obsessive prison.
Symmetry, 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 symmetry.
I have to get a burger. Wow, that's a really spiky thing. What is that little burger? Whee! I like shapes. What's that super spiky?
Well, let's find out.
You, what are you? Being seared yours.
Convex stellated polyhedron.
Oh, it's just a spikier version of one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the game of Acid Trip. We're a convex stellated polyhedron.
Something, no thing, something, no thing.
Here's the far as I should have.
Part of a 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 part. One system of behavior.
When, as a scientist, you describe the behavior of a living organism,
Inside, outside, inside, outside.
you try to say what a person does. It's the only way in which you can describe what a person is. Describe what they do. Then you find out that in making this description, you cannot confine yourself to what happens inside the skin. In other words, you can't talk about a person walking unless you start describing the floor. Because when I walk, I don't just dangle my legs in empty space.
Yes, no, yes.
I
no,
move
yes.
in relationship to a room. And so in order to describe what I'm doing when I'm walking, I have to describe the room. I have to describe the territory. So in describing my talking at the moment, I can't describe this just as a thing in itself, because I'm talking to you. And so what I'm doing at the moment is not
Thoughts within,
completely
thoughts
described
within,
unless
thoughts within,
your being
thoughts.
here is described also. So if that is necessary, if in other words, in order to describe my behavior, I have to describe your behavior and the behavior of the environment,
Carmen.
it means that we've really got one system of behavior.
You like seeds.
That what I am involves what you are. I don't know who I am unless I know who you are. And you don't know who you are unless you know who I am. In other words, we're not separate. We define each other. We're all backs and fronts to each other. We and our environment, and all of us and each other, are interdependent systems.
Sunflower pollen.
We know who we are in terms of other people. We all lock together. And this is, again and again, the serious scientific description of how things happen. And any good scientist knows that what you call the external world is as much you as your own body.
What does it sing? It goes like warp. There's that.
Mm-hmm. also carbon? Yes, that's also carbon.
You're doing, trying to make coal? I suppose you guys make more carbon.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, carbon form benzene for me. You only need one more and you'll be benzene.
What are those things?
Feel
like-
like be frightened by your fearsome carbon battle cry. That's a reasonable sound for carbon to make, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, atoms are slow.
Well, I mean,
Incoming electron cloud.
Mycobacterium, sand grain. Yeah, let's jump up to here real quick. Silicon, sand grain.
Yeah, what were we looking for over here that you were pointing out?
I think it was probably those things, which I have been before.
That sounds like some kind of
Yeah. Carbon, silicon, giant bellflower pollen, carbon.
I love how the barley seeds look like real boats.
You can stay here for as long as you like. Don't listen to anything that says you can't. I love you. Floating, I float. Let me feed you whatever I am. Ooh, new things.
You're not nitrogen?
Potassium.
Potassium. You might be radioactive. Depending on which
Radioactive.
potassium you are.
Radioactive. I'm radioactive. Radioactive.
Flare Breeze says, finally we have discovered love. Ooh, now we're in an infection.
Bacillus subtil. And now I'm one of these guys. As you experience all of the universe's things, each thing also experiences you. Things leave their mark on you as you leave your mark on things. And somewhere inside you is an impression of everything you've ever been. A great memory of things you can revisit any time, and feel what it's like to be them again. You are always free to transform yourself into anything.
Hold E to bring up the Henshin menu. Ah, 1D, 3D, animal, arachnid, galaxy, other. This is great. Whenever he says, can we actually infect something? Probably not.
Probably not.
And if we turned into like a big swarm of bacteria and like tried to make for a nearby animal, it would take a while and probably not have anything. Ah, fluorine. But fluorine chemistry is evidence against the existence of a loving and caring God. And arguably evidence for the existence of a hostile hostile and aggressive deity.
Your skin doesn't separate you from the world, it's a bridge through which the external world flows into you, and you flow into it. Just, for example, as a whirlpool in water, you could say because you have a skin, you have a definite shape, you have a definite form. The whirlpool is a definite form, but no water stays put in it. The whirlpool is something the stream is doing. And exactly the same way, the whole universe is doing each one of us. And I see you today, and I recognize you tomorrow.
I used to be into bacterials,
just as I would recognize a
cool
whirlpool
anymore.
in a stream.
I've grown up since then.
I'd say, oh yes, I've seen that whirlpool before. It's just near so-and-so's house on the edge of the river.
Yeah,
it's
I think
always
so.
there. So in the same way, when I meet you tomorrow,
Actually, it
I
was
recognize
whatever that
you.
thing
You're the
is.
same whirlpool you were yesterday.
Saccharomyces cerevisiae.
But you're moving. The whole world is moving through you. All the
Isn't
cosmic
that
rays, all the
the
foods you're eating, the
species
stream
from
of steaks
Danny?
and milk
Maybe.
and eggs and everything is just flowing right through you. When you're wiggling the same way, the world is wiggling, the stream is wiggling you. But the problem is, you see, we haven't been taught to feel that way. The myths underlying our culture and underlying our common sense have not taught us to feel identical with the universe, but only parts of it, only in it, only confronting it, aliens.
Like wind firms, yeast.
And we are, I think, quite urgently
Triangle.
in need of coming to feel that we are the eternal universe, each one of us. Otherwise, we're going to go out of our heads. We're going to commit suicide, collectively, courtesy of H-bombs. And, all right, supposing we do, well, that will be that, and it'll be life making experiments on other galaxies. Maybe they'll find a better game.
Cool pattern stuff flying in there.
Mm-hmm.
You're making a lot of DNA.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if you can form a chromosome. I said protonome. Protonome. David through time.
Ooh.
I like that pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Can you move the camera around a little bit so you can just like see the three-dimensional movement better? Neat. So you're usually forming something really flat, but I couldn't see what because how flat it was. DNA Mobius strip. So what did you say you're made of right now?
Say what?
Or better yet, ask me what I think you're made of right now.
What do you think I'm made of right now?
Adenine, cytosine,
Oh, God.
guanine,
Damn it.
thiamine.
Daniel.
It's Twisty.
Twisty.
He'll never work in this town again, Twisty.
Okay, let's...
You're a big old genetic snake.
Mm-hmm.
Beware the Geno snake. If you can find a protein shell, you can become a virus.
How dare you look at me like that? That bored stare. I never said I was perfect. You think I can't see you? I see all of it. It's not looking too good, either. You need to get your house in order before you go and give me that look. What are you gonna do, fight me? Come on, fight me, tough guy.
Easy there, sand. Green. Aw, the Geno snake broke up. I guess it didn't care for being quite that big.
Not sure if I am a cause or effect. I keep going back and forth.
As a pollen green, I assure you, you are both.
Now I'm a blueberry. So long, Sucresa.
Get down, commands. Quick, save your blueberry friends. Oh, they make gross sounds.
Snail.
This just makes me think of that song. Snail! Why is shroom faster than snail?
Rusula emetica. Things that happen to us.
I wonder if it's ever struck you
Pew, cricket.
how curious a thing it is
Chirp, chirp, suckers.
that most of the things that we experience we regard as things that happen to us, which we ourselves do not originate, which are events
Dance.
expressing some sort of power or activity that is external to ourselves. And if you consider that,
Oak leaves.
you realize that what you mean by yourself is rather narrowly circumscribed. Even events that go on in our own bodies
Dandelion.
are put in the category of things that happen to us in the same way as things that go on in the world outside our skins. If there's a thunderstorm or an earthquake, well, it happens to you. You're not responsible for it.
Rough grass.
But so in the same way, when you have hiccups, you didn't plan on it. If you
Clover.
have belly rumbles, you had no intention of doing it. And as to the catastrophic act of getting born, well, you had nothing to do with that. And you can spend all your life blaming your parents for putting you in the situation in which you find yourself. And this way of looking at the world in this sort of passive mood, as something that happens to you,
Cowboy.
goes right down to our general feeling about life. It goes
Am I
down to the
lichen now?
way in which
A lycanthrope?
we have been accustomed to look at human existence as a precarious
Moss.
event in a cosmos that, on
Frog.
the whole, is depicted
What's with your legs,
as being
Frog?
completely unsympathetic and alien.
Oh, that is funny. Green frog.
That's a doopy little froggy. I'm sure they had a frog sing like a frog, right?
Yep.
Good.
I'm a peed.
Centipede party! It's a centipede party! Come to a centipede party!
Ooh, I'm a black widow.
Be dangerous spider! Be dangerous spider! Be look at spiders! Come dangerous spiders! They make necrotizing wounds! Necrotizing wounds! You can float on the wind as a leaf. Or at least climb rocks.
Elm leaf.
Vince Strickland says this game looks incredible.
It kind of is. This is the most beautiful morning I've ever seen. I don't know how to even begin describing it. Granted, there's both a whole lot and not a lot to it, which kind of fits its ethos, actually. Rumex. sharp pebble.
What a pebbles dance. Okay, they kind of freak out a bunch. Neat. You see, everything dances a little bit differently, but I'm seeing some familiar patterns.
Blueberries. Ooh, what are you?
This guy's effort. It's some kind of weed. Maybe a carrot.
I sometimes want to just give up. I've tried to find meaning here, doing what I like doing, or at least what I tell myself I like doing, but it never feels right. I always feel just stuck, not going anywhere. I know that feel, caterpillar. Pine seedling. For a Russula medica, I am pretty resilient to the sun. I hardly feel it. I wouldn't want to be a pine seedling, though.
Well, screw you. This is true.
Not really a part of all this.
If you're reared with a 20th century, or shall we
This is
say
a
an
never-ending
early
morning.
20th
I can't
century
wait for
common
tomorrow to
sense,
come.
which is based on the philosophy of science of the 19th century.
Buttercup.
You regard yourself as an accident, a biological accident, in a stupid universe, which is mechanical, but has no feelings.
Can you fly test
A
this
vast, pointless
Not right
gyration of radioactive rocks
If you
and
take
gas in which
Yeah,
you
there's not a
happen to
book.
occur.
now? Oh,
Of course, if you don't have that point of view and you are more traditional, you look upon yourself as a child of God,
now. Do I look fat?
there's that far again.
and
Yeah.
therefore under authority. In other words, there's a big boss on top of all this. And you better watch your P's and Q's, because that Almighty is looking after you.
What are you pretending
The
to not
attitude
know?
of this
Is there
is gonna
something you
hurt me
don't know
more
that
than
you
it's
don't
gonna
know
hurt you.
that you'd like to share with everyone?
And when you look at the world in that image, or in the other image that it's a stupid mechanism, either point of view you take, you don't really belong. You're not really part of all this.
Spring rolls on and
Or to
on.
put
It's
it in the
spectacularly
strongest
beautiful.
possible way, it is quite alien to our thought that the external world, which is defined as something that happens to you, and your body itself as something that you've got caught up with, it is quite alien to consider all that as you yourself. Because you see, we have such a myopic view of what oneself is.
Allow your mind to consider this. What is good may not always involve keeping your friends and family from danger. Huh.
In response to the in response to the audio clip, Vince Strickland said, "Big boss." Metal Gear. Some kind of leaf.
Maple leaves. Oh, sycamore. Never mind.
Went to see the sycamore leaves and got hit in the head of a puck. I don't really know why. Sycamores don't grow in Canada. And now, ants. Do you want ants? Because this is how you just got a bunch. You just got a bunch of ants.
What? Of course I feel pain too. What a stupid question. Rock, small.
Are you about to throw a concert?
Yes.
Be the forest.
It's that scene from Macbeth.
There's a scene from Macbeth where an army of redwoods tracks across his forehead.
It's the army disguised as trees.
Who would fall for that?
Burbs.
Hey, they actually animated these guys. Echelon formation. Cool.
Is this all there is? Is this all there should be? Stay. I'm driftwood.
What are you, Watson? Or Jetson?
Pronghorn. Carpentaria palm.
It's kind of fun is you can like be a part of a fence. I
Layered
enjoyed
rock.
watching this on Game Grumps because they never made the fence dance. They want to scale like a fence dance.
Pom pom pine. Burned tree.
Like one said, next stop, Dunsinane? What?
Dunsinane. Yeah, Macbeth still.
Also, I got disconnect.
Oops. Bighorn sheep. Ah! Cute! No, don't descend.
Kitty, what the heck? Silly Puma. Oh, look at his eyes.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
He's been in the catnip. Uh-oh. Yeah, that'd be bad. Hi, Clumsy. I was wondering where you'd got to. By now, you've been able to see a lot here, but not everything. When you first arrived here, there was a golden object in front of you. Do you remember it? It might feel distant now, but it's still there. This is a gate, made by things who weren't able to see how you see. Many things entered it, but weren't able to come back out, so we kept it locked. I'm going to open it for you, but it's up to you if you want to enter. Good luck, and take care.
Okay, our internet definitely derpish. Let's see if we're still projecting. Thinking. Derping.
Well, let's see. Appear to be back on IRC.
IRC came back. Club Upper says you're back, so I'm guessing we are back.
Okay. Whoa, what?
Stream facts is my one. Yeah, we're not carrying. Descend into the Golden Gate. Isn't that a bridge?
You are Rock Continent.
Ooh, you're a Kraton. Neat. Can you join up Professor Kraton to form a continent?
I'm an orca.
Ooh, Orca goes zoom. I'm guessing orcas sing like whale do. Ooh, can you porpoise?
That's what I was just trying to do.
Can you move with porpoise? No, can't breach anything. It's a cloud.
B. The autumn rolls on and on. It's spectacularly beautiful. Elidea. What, I can't fish?
Yeah, I think you fish.
Aha. School of Salmon. Sand continent. Green continent.
Hey, Thunderstorm!
Cumulonimbus. Altocumulus.
Could be clouds. That's neat. Oh, the clouds dance.
Ice continent.
Kelp.
Some really big kelp.
Welcome to Kelp.
Stratus cloud.
Cumulus cloud. Big puffy mountains in the sky.
I like to believe I am improving at life, but I can't be so sure. My grasp on the world always seems like the correct one to have, yet it's invisible to me.
Now, we come here to an extremely important principle, which is the different points of view you get when you change your level of magnification. That is to say, you can look at something with a microscope and see it a certain way. You can look at it with the naked eye and see it in a certain way. You look at it with a telescope and you see it in another way.
Sperm whale.
Now, which level of magnification is the correct one? Well, obviously, they're all correct. They're just different points of view. When we examine our bloodstreams under a microscope, we see there's one hell of a fight going on. All sorts of microorganisms are chewing each other up. And if we got overly fascinated with our view of our own bloodstreams in the microscope, we should start taking sides, which would be fatal, because the health of our organism depends on the continuance of this battle. What is, in other words, conflict at one level of magnification is harmony at a higher level. And could it possibly be, therefore, that we, with all our problems, conflicts, neuroses, sicknesses, political outrages, wars, tortures,
Dolphin.
and everything that goes on in human life, are a state of conflict, which can be seen in a larger perspective as a situation of harmony?
Sea bass. Burbs. Arctic Turn.
Backstreet Boys.
I was going to say, do they go Backstreet Boys? Nope. They should go Backstreet Boys, though.
Backstreet's back, alright?
Okay? Just...
Enjoys the spider, okay?
No doubt this planet has a limited lifespan in the universe. I won't get to see it go through life and oh, I clicked too fast.
You did the mind to, like, view thoughts you've absorbed. Wherever it might be. What said that? I knew you'd absorb more thoughts than this.
Yeah. He horseshoe crab.
Going really fast somehow.
Yeesh. Hover of trout.
Cover of trout?
Mm-hmm. The wind makes me bristle. It keeps everything changing. I want it to stay the same.
Really, I felt like
Sea
brushes
turtle.
or something.
Opened reptile category.
Sea turtle is really cute too.
Uh-huh.
I just find that brushes make me bristle.
Ah.
Cat brush.
I could tell what it was. It's just... It was startling.
It's like off-puttingness of a cat brush. Oh, Cirrus clouds.
Stratocumulus.
Well, I see Cirrus in there.
I'm feeling seasick. This isn't good.
Or possible. Cirrus. Through the high clouds. Sky clouds.
Cirrus.
Cirrus cloud.
And you could say, aha, at last I see, I got the point. I've seen how all this makes sense. But what this insight depended upon was your overcoming the illusion that space separates things. That is to say, the space, the interval between your body and mine. The interval created by birth at one end and death at the other. And then after somebody's death, then somebody else's birth. These are events with intervals between them. And normally we regard these intervals in time and these intervals in space as having no importance, no function. we tend to see the universe itself as really consisting in all the stars and galaxies. That's what it is. That's what we notice. But the space in which all this happens is sort of written off as something that isn't really there. But what one has to realize is that the space is an essential function of the things in the space. After all, you can't have separate stars unless there is a space. Eliminate the space and you will see you couldn't have this phenomenon at all. And vice versa. You couldn't have the space. They wouldn't be there in any sense whatsoever if there weren't the bodies in it. So the bodies in the space and the space are two aspects of a single continuum. They're related together in exactly the same way as a back and a front. And you just don't get one without the other.
That is not the same kind of continent.
You're a grump.
Reindeer? Rocky Mountain elk.
There's a lot of them.
Buffalo.
Bison.
Bison.
This is delicious. Maybe you become a box model one.
What's these? Wooden torch. Wait.
Cool. How's that thing? Relighting itself?
Bighorn sheep. Pronghorn. Yep. Uh-oh.
Oh, it scared stuff away. Neat. You didn't light anything on fire, did you?
I don't think I did. Thankfully. Because I certainly wasn't intending to. Palm lily. That looks like a human structure.
Oh, man, here's a good place to become a fence. More torches. Fence!
Pickaxe.
You are definitely a pickaxe. Fence.
This is cool.
Fence, snake. How do you sing?
That's what I've been doing.
How does it dance? It should be strange. Okay, it dances much the same as many other things, too. Well, lots of clipping. Infinite wall. Is this a kind of wall hack? Oh, you put out that fire.
It put itself on, too. Okay, let's circle up around again.
So the moment you see that intervals, that space is connective, you can understand at once how you are not just to be exclusively defined as a flash of consciousness that occurs between two eternal darknesses. That you consider that in the darkness that comes before your birth, there was no you, and in the eternal darkness that follows your death, there is likewise no you. And I'm going to discuss these matters, not by appealing to any special spooky knowledge, as if I had been traveling on the higher planes and knew all my previous incarnations and therefore could tell you authoritatively that
There are some things that no one will ever know that no one ever
I'm
knew.
going to do it on a basis
And I know
of
exactly
complete
what they
common
are,
sense,
but I'm
that
not
everybody
telling.
has access to the facts.
Agave stricta. Rock, large. Hey, how long have I been here? I just woke up and suddenly it's night and odd-looking rock arrives in my face. I don't remember anything that happened before now. Explain it to me. I feel kind of lonely out here. Ever since my old bunch went away, I've been trying to fit into this one, but it's not the same. And I know it, and they know it. It's only a matter of time before I need to leave again. Rock, huge. What are you? Fan palm. Ziegenbach. Oh, just goat.
Snow goat.
Snoat.
What are those? Is that a stone?
He looks vaguely stoatly. Marmot! Ah, marmots!
They're a jolly bunch.
Did I just wake up inside a nightmare of my own dreaming? You need to get me out of here. Please get me out of here.
Are you frightened of marmots?
Ooh.
I've never been to grass.
Dune grass.
Wow.
It's a very snowy morning to be off gallivanting around here. You're lucky you get to do it.
Life is a pattern of immense complexity. And what you call yourself as a living organism, say, I am my whole body at the very least. Now, what is that body? That body is recognizable, and I recognize my friends when I meet them again, and you recognize me. Although the last time any of you saw me, I was absolutely something entirely different from what I am now. Just as the flame of a candle is never a constant. The flame of a candle is a stream of hot gas. Only you say the flame of the candle as if it were a constant. Well, it is a recognizably constant pattern. But in exactly the same way, we are all constant patterns. And that's all we are. The only thing constant about us at all is the doing rather than the being. It's the way we behave, the way we dance. Only there's no we that dances. There's just the dancing. There is no thing that whirlpools. There is the whirlpool. And in the same way, each one of us is a very, very delightfully complex undulation of the energy of the whole universe.
I'm a complex complex undulation.
Brrr.
Time for a rumble double.
The same and family from danger. I like being a fan palm. I can go anywhere and do whatever I want. As long as the days keep coming and going, there's nothing I can complain about. I'm just happy to be here. What are you? Some other kind of grass. Desert grass. Bighorn sheep.
It was trapped in midair when you met it.
Brrr.
Rocks can move pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
It's a rock. It's a grid of stuff.
Grid of stuff? That's just rocks.
Huh.
Birch. My head hurts. It's been hurting all morning. If only the snow would go away, I'd be happy again.
It's raining to you, but you don't have a head. You're a tree.
I wish it would stop being snowy for good. I've just had enough. A rock can only take so much. Mountain lion.
Mountain lion on the water. Maybe this is ice.
Duck.
Nope, it's not ice. How's a mountain lion on the water?
Peking duck.
What is that?
That's descent. Ooh, lotus.
Red nosed.
Lily pad.
Where's that from?
Aw,
Oh, here's turtles.
turds. Baby sea turtle.
Aww. The cutes.
Hey, come back here.
I got a weird little goldfish.
Calico goldfish.
Fish combined into one. Eel party begin.
Moray eel. That's a moray.
When a fish bites, you're healing. Balls. When a fish bites, you're healing. It feels like an eel. That's a moray. Hey, it's Dory.
Yep, whatever these things are actually called. Emperor angelfish.
No, it's an anglefish.
He's koi.
Koi koi.
Koi koi.
Koi koi.
Joaquin goldfish. Joaquin phoenix.
Fish. Walking Phoenix fish.
Sea urchin. Tiny fish. Minnow. thinking how lucky it is I can breathe underwater. Imagine being born down here as a chicken. It'd be awful. Oops. Dang it, that's not what I meant to do.
Because life is basically a game of hide and seek. Because life is pulsation. On and off. Here it is, and now it isn't. And by being this pulsation, we know it's there. Now, from those very tiny fast rhythms, which give us the impression of continuity, there are also in this universe immensely slow rhythms. And these are very difficult for us to keep track of. And they impress us and depress us as our own life and death, as our coming and going, which goes for what is to us such a slow pace that we can't possibly believe that it is really a rhythm.
French.
We think of it as our birth, as something quite unique that could never occur again, because we're so close to it, you see, and it's moving so slowly.
Dirt chunk. Look at all the dirt chunk empires that have risen and fallen throughout the centuries. And you'll see the future. Its pattern is the same down to the last detail. Nothing can ever break with the process of nature. To see the life of a dirt chunk for 100 years or 1,000,000 is the same. Well, I mean, dirt chunk.
Dirt clod.
Why is it that I only envy what's in front of me and only admire things at a distance? Yes. Shell. King's Crown. Kelp. Kelp. I need some fish. Kelp. Not just any fish. Kelp. You know, I need some fish. Kelp. That was a song I made while fishing at FF11 one time.
You true clams.
Clams.
Watch it, shout ahead.
Clip.
Jeez, that's some gallows humor for a clam.
I'm a bit vain sometimes. I should stop thinking about myself, but what else is there to think of?
Everything else?
Ooh, there's something else new. What is it? Mussels or oysters?
Oysters.
Mussels. You need muscles to stand tall.
On the seafloor.
You need your muscles to move at all. Parallel to the force of your look, water anger. Hi, sorry, I can't chat. I really, really, really need to go to the toilet.
You're some kelp. King's Crown is a strange name for a snail.
Process of growth.
The process of growth, the basic process of biology,
Like Joaquin Goldfish.
is one in which lower orders are always being superseded by higher orders. But the lower order can never figure out, or only very rarely figure out, what the higher order is that's taking over. And may see it as a terrible threat, as total disaster, as the very end, but can never be aware that the principle of growth always has and always will continue. Whereas that's what's going on. But you never know what the next step is going to be, because if you did know, you wouldn't take it, because it would already be past. Do you understand this? That any certainly known future is an event of which we can say, you've had it. And in that sense, it's past. When we play a game, the outcome of the game becomes certain. We at that point cancel the game and begin a new one. Because the whole zest of the thing, which takes me back to the idea that this whole thing is a hide-and-seek game, is that you don't know what the next
I've become pretty popular around here lately. People like what I have to say, so I just keep saying stuff, and the louder I get, the more popular I become. If anyone comes around and proves me wrong, I'll cover their mouth forever. What? I wish I knew how to whistle. You'll have difficulty with that underwater. All I can do is every time I try. Is all that comes out. Damn it.
Actually, wasn't it more of a... Did it? Because those are like some double listeners.
Yeah.
Mugfish Mark 2. You beach.
Hey, Peach.
It's Pinochet, the boxer. Beaches. Sea urchins have weird underside. Whoa! 2 rings! 2 rings of urchins and a panicking lobster.
Ooh, what kind of fish is that? Oh, it's a salmon. Sure, let's be a salmon. I have to do this thing that I'm doing. Can't you see that?
No.
No, not really.
What are you? That's thinking up there.
I don't need no brain, the world is my brain.
Alright, walking pink fish. You think weird things like that.
Trout. There's nothing useless here, not even uselessness itself. Except for me, I feel a bit useless most of the time, but everything else is doing great.
Welcome to Kelp.
How can I kelp you?
This is Kelp, and welcome to you who have come to Kelp.
You can do anything with kelp.
The other
Anything
one
at
is
all.
yourself. Anything at all.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot to Kelp on there for a minute. Marvel vs. Kelpcom.
You are a different sort of duck.
Mallard duck.
Wild duck.
Advanced duck. Type 2 duck civilization. Various creatures bad at gravity. What the duck? This just reminds me of the picture of the duck that appears to have skidded to a halt.
Yes. I love that picture. Ooh, there's a new thing. What are you? Some kind of plamp. Giant bird of paradise. May the bird of paradise fly up your nose.
It's not a bird at all.
It's a bird plane.
Plant.
A scanning system based on sensing danger.
We have this rather myopic way of looking at things. And we screen out from attention anything that is not immediately
This is a nice moment. This one right here.
to a
right now.
scanning system based on sensing danger.
Like one says, you're a ground swimming duck?
Yep.
But quite
A good
obviously,
roll has
you,
each
as a
other's
complete
backs and
individual,
never fronts.
are much
Sends
more
your
than the
right,
scanning
even if you're
system.
left, and brings you up even if you're ever down.
You are in relationships with the external world that, on the whole, are incredibly harmonious. The energies of life in the form of temperature, light, air, and food, and so on, are streaming through you all at this moment in the most magnificently harmonious way.
Ew.
When anything is constant, it says, okay, that's safe, it's in the bag, you needn't pay attention to that anymore. And therefore, we eliminate systematically from our awareness all the gorgeous things that are going on, all the time, and instead only become focused on the things, the troublesome things that might happen to
I
upset
don't
you.
know, but it appeared to have had black rubber.
Which is all right, but we make too much of it. We make so much of it that we identify our very selves, I, ego, with the radar, with the troubleshooter. And that's only a tiny fragment
Am I a
of one's
tapir?
total being.
Or am I a sheep? I'm a sheep. I'm a sheep.
I'm a sheep. Say beep, beep. I'm a sheep. I need a RAM upgrade.
Every layered rock, every stone shows both unity in cause and difference in form.
Cool. Rock. I don't think you've been a layered rock yet.
Yeah, I have. Since it has the name, I've been it.
So it's time for a concert. How do the rocks sing? Any pulse they break. Repeatedly. A little bit.
Nice of you to stop by. I'm afraid I can't chat very long. I'm waiting for my love to return. I can't see very well now, and my old plant brain isn't what it used to be, but I remember every moment, every word. She was a very distinctive cedar, wandering around here some centuries ago. Our time was brief, but I haven't been able to feel something like that ever since. Perhaps you'll tell her I'm here if you should see her. Let me guess, you want every single cedar to go on living forever. Or perhaps it's just you, your friends, and maybe their friends.
Trees discussing immortality. That's weird. Marmot.
The more things stay the same, the better. What are you?
Some weird plant.
Rush.
There's Rush is rushing about.
And his mind is not for rent to any god or government.
What are these?
Headstones.
What are these?
Obelisk.
Obelisk March.
To whistle. All I keep thinking about myself, but I wish I keep coming into difference in front of the process of me. I haven't been trying to go.
You're good at thinking yet.
No, that's neural networks trying to build itself off of thoughts. It's not for everyone, but I'm glad I was born in this place. I really like it. Small rock.
Here's an obelisk front. Here's an obelisk front. So how do you get back to being the Golden Gate Economy?
You very soon realize that your existence is not something that is just the hopeless little creature that's suddenly confronted with a great big external world that goes gah at him, and eats him up. Every tiniest little thing that comes into being, every minute little fruit fly or gnat or bacterium, I will go so far as to say is an event upon which this whole cosmos depends. This thing goes both ways. It's not only that every little organism which exists depends on its total environment. The reverse is also true, that the total environment depends on each and every one of those little organisms. So that you could say this universe consists of an arrangement of pattern in which every event is essential to the whole thing. Now, we screen that idea out of our consciousness in exactly the same way that we screen out the perception of space as an important reality. Just as we pay attention to the figure and ignore the background, so
The fire pit saying,
we see one way of looking at things, namely that the organism is very frail against the environment. It lasts a long time, the environment, but the organism only lasts a short time. What do you mean the environment lasts a long time? What does the environment consist of? Just a lot of little things. When you get far enough away from all the organisms and the little bits of things, you see the environment in another scale of magnification. But actually, the whole thing is arranged in a polar system where the enormous depends on the tiny and the tiny depends on the enormous. And you get a relationship between these extremes, which can be called a transaction. They always go together. So in this way, we are always, as it were, overemphasizing a certain aspect of our experience.
or an elk.
Wait a second. I have a thought. No.
Montgomery, it's just like a mini palm.
Made it all the way here, maybe wishing to rid yourself of whatever sadness and pain that you have in your world, dreaming of being intoxicated by the novelty or beauty of whatever this is. You may try to tell yourself and others that you have found such things here, but you have not. Wherever you go, your giant goes with you. Nothing will ever bring you peace but yourself. Nope, get up there.
Home Market, Montgomery. It's just like a coconut.
I just turned trees into birds.
Yep, you evolved into a bunch of eagles. Interesting.
This is one of the coldest spring mornings I can remember. The weather is always up to something.
Saw that. You'll sound good, but probably not milk.
I don't think so.
Not sure what they're doing. Flaming hot Cheerios. Maybe they go with habanero peach jelly.
As soon as you wish to please anyone but yourself, the game is over. My insides are very heavy today.
Oh boy, I misread building home as homing camel. What?
Yep, I'm a bunch of galaxies.
We say now, what is important
There are
about people?
problems with scale.
Is there unique individuality? And we have been given an immense psychic investment in our own individuality by our upbringing. What are you going to amount? What are you going to contribute to human life? What's your particular destiny going to be? It's a fine idea. But the thing we don't understand is that it won't work, this great idea, without being balanced with its opposite. Just as you can't have the back without the front. So you cannot have the values of a unique personality unless at the same time everybody recognizes that there is another level at which we are not unique at all, but that I am you and you are I. See, every one of you feels that you're the center of the universe and that everything else is happening around you in a circle. You can turn around and you can see sort of equally far in all directions, especially if you're in a ship in the middle of the ocean. So you're in the middle. And it's true from the standpoint of astronomy. We live in a curved space-time continuum, that is to say, in a universe at which every point may be regarded as the center. Consider a sphere. Here's a ball. What point on this ball is the center of its surface? You can see at once that any point can be the center of its surface. So legitimately, all points in the universe are the center.
The bird of paradise was a kind of bird. Something parrot-esque.
Coyote.
Yeah, the coyotes
Black
followed me both ways. Or the the cops will. Jeez, those coyotes could have given you a ride. Autocorrect assaults once again.
Is that a llama? I think it's a llama.
I think it's a pecking. Look how fluffy it is.
Llama. Cow.
Another dog.
Cow.
Oh, it's
Ooh.
cooling. Man, I hope pigs tumble like this.
Cow.
Put them together and you look like a game of Pass the Pigs.
That's a fun game.
Yeah, fun for fungi, baby. There are mushrooms on the planet.
What?
Let me get to it.
Yeah. Other Holstein cows will try to stop you, but never give them your hatred or let them destroy your kindness. You must always be firm in your decisions and also gentle to those that get in your way. To lose your kindness is to surrender completely.
Didn't know Holstein Cow Society was so brutal. They're so small,
These sunny mornings make me nostalgic. I haven't seen my children in a long time.
they're probably all around you. You're a tree. Silly Philosophy recording. Let's tumble on over to it.
It's always you.
We are all like the nerve ends
What's happening?
on your own skin. See, at every point on your skin, there's a little nerve end going beep and getting information from the outside world. Another and another and another, all over. And they all constitute your total sensitivity. So in the same way, and all these people sitting around here, with their little eyes and little ears and things, they're going beep, and they're all really one common center, called I, which is looking at itself from ever so many different points of view. Only, we are so close to it, and we are so absorbed in the different ways each one of them is doing, that we neglect the community underneath. But we don't realize, you see, that just as we know how to do this, we know equally well how to turn the sun into light, how to blue the sky, how to blow the wind, how to wave the ocean, how to digest food.
More butts.
And I might add, to be digested and transformed, but the pattern
Terracotta
keeps
brazier.
going. And it's always you. Only you see you have this marvelous capacity to transform yourself without knowing that you're doing it. Therefore, you keep surprising yourself. And therefore, you keep on doing it. Because if you didn't surprise yourself, you wouldn't go on doing it. It's just the very fact, you see, that you seem to be the victims of a thing you don't understand, and that you seem to conclude your life every time in a wipeout called death, where all your control goes, is just exactly that opposite condition to what you call being alive that allows you to be alive.
I kind of just want to leave this game on overnight. Or, no, wait, I would need something pressing X over and over again. I guess I could set up Joy to key to do that.
Can you use the holders?
Apparently. So I could weigh down the X key and leave it on overnight.
And have way too many terracotta braziers?
Yeah.
Way too many terracotta braziers?
Those sound like they would be uncomfortable.
Way too many terracotta braziers? Rings within rings. You can see the three originals because they're the only ones that are full size.
Mm-hmm.
You can get rocket rings. Parallel rings. Triple rings. Rings and rings. Lots of rings. Also sprock rings. Bootstrap.
Whee!
Whoa! It was like a Venn diagram of creation. Eh. Interesting, the dance mechanic. Interesting. Looks like there are different sets of patterns available for different, like, overall amounts of things. Because I haven't seen that parallel line party come back yet. I noticed not everything has the same dance sets. Because I didn't see any of that big triangle shenanigans that other things are getting up to.
Mm-hmm.
Beehive bugs, dancing horse. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you an end to the housing crisis.
They start out very small, but they'll get bigger.
Yeah, it's like a tortoise. It grows. Because we have a few millennia.
Ooh. Okay. Ooh, haven't been one of those yet.
One of the first things which everybody should understand is that every creature in the universe that is in any way sensitive and in any manner of speaking conscious regards itself as a human being. That is to say, it knows and is aware of a hierarchy of beings above it and a hierarchy of beings below it. If you take such a tiny creature as a fruit fly, which lives only a few days, it is aware of all sorts of weird little animals and objects and spores floating in the atmosphere which we don't even notice unless we've got a microscope around. And it criticizes them as being inferior animals and all that sort of thing, whereas human beings are things that it doesn't comprehend. They're as much outside its intellect as a quasar is outside ours. And we see these far-off objects floating in the heavens, and we have only the vaguest idea of what they may be. But there is, I think, a fundamental principle that everybody must understand, and that is the principle of relativity. That is to say that wherever you are, and whoever you are, and whatever you are, you're in the middle. That's the game.
Well, well, well.
Her.
All's well that ends in well.
Look, I don't need stone towers coming along to try and figure me out. I know I'm not perfect. Agave variegata. Is there anything else around here that I didn't have already? Looks like no. Okay, now I'm pretty sure off on the horizon somewhere I saw another stone tower. I can feel the days get longer and longer. It feels good. Feels good, man.
Apparently in the origin, once that frog hails, that was his response to why he uses the urinal of his pants down. At a party.
Sycamore.
Something wrong with that. What would mass media would think of the Get Out frog? Or its origins.
Tumbleweed.
Weed! Clearly Hopefully next time you get like a huge swarm of stuff, you need to just hunch into tumbleweed and you'll just go nuts.
Feelings ever invent anything? Feelings are dumb. Feelings are dumb, kissing is awesome. As that t-shirt says.
There's a llama, there's a llama, Dalai Lama. Yeah, like a llama.
When you stand and you can see a horizon all around you to exactly the same distance, you're in the center of a circle because your senses extend a certain direction in all directions and therefore give you the impression of being in the middle. Now, everything in the world feels like that. And also it has its own kind, which look natural to it. You see spiders and
Once dead, you lose
hydras
all power
and
to
sea
change yourself.
urchins
Could you
and
grab
so
me an
on
orange,
don't look
please?
very natural to us. We say, well, I wouldn't want to look like that. But they say when they see us,
Hands full of orange flavored
well, what kind of an awful thing is that? And what a lot of nonsense it does. Because the definition of a person is where you look from.
Evening, no seek. Welcome to
And they, you see,
Everything.
in their situation, feel just as cultured as we can possibly feel. And they have their distinctions and their snobberies, just in the same way that we do. Because you see, they dig all sorts of things that we don't even notice. We think a person is cultured because they play the piano or the violin or they read poetry or they have a big library and they have paintings all around and they have a fancy house and so on, and we say, well, there's a person of culture, and we can see at once that this is really some rather elegant human being. But when you get down into the world of fishes, they have exactly the same thing. Only, instead of depending on collecting a lot of books and things like that, it is the precise way, the very subtle wiggles of a tail, the little tremors of vibration that makes one fish a very superior fish as compared with other fish. And all the other fish look at that one and say, oh my, to be like that, what a genius. To be able to do just that little extra thing, see? Because they're very sensitive. Even airplanes in formation can't begin to do what birds and fish can do in their communal swirling dances that they do.
A house cat near Sugar Frosted named Merlin says hi.
Oh, hey, kitty. Dwarf Planet.
Dwarf Planet goes fishing.
Living inside of an exploding miracle.
Merlin is Sugar Frosted's bro. Brother with another species for a mother. Sugar Frosted says, Dwarf Planet, give it beer. This world needs alcohol to get through the working day.
Rock Planet.
It's very plurpy. That is so not a terraforming candidate.
Ice Planet.
Ice hole.
Oh, okay, that's... The moon is part of it, that's why it was lighting up like that. The truth is unable to harm, only persistence in lies and ignorance can do that. These things can never touch your mind, but float outside of it. All the distractions you feel arise from within. Son. Is it? Right. I forgot I did that.
You left over here. That makes no sense.
No, it really doesn't.
You should see if you can find that golden gate and become a copy again. Trouble is, I've lost track of if you're in the right universe layer.
I have no idea, honestly.
I think you came back up from the one you dove down into, so you should.
Here is a very strange thing.
You may be in the wrong kind of context.
That every creature, therefore, which feels that it is human, and which knows that it's there in the same way as you know you're here, experiences being here as constituting a sort of blockage. The sensation of a certain tension which constitutes the feeling of I-ness, of there-ness, of being here. Because after all, every creature is a particular form. Everything is individual. Not only you as a total organism standing here, but all the component cells of your body. Each one of them has some sort of a feeling of its own. And it is individual. You can look at a microscope at the right level of magnification, and you can see that thing there with its own little life. And if you examine the stream of your blood, you'll find it full of all kinds of organisms that are having all sorts of conspiracies and games and plots and eating each other and doing these things that like we do. Only we realize that we wouldn't be healthy as a total organism unless there were all these wars and fights and plots and politics going on between the various cells in our blood. But from their point of view, you see, they feel a little bit put out because they're being organized.
Sugar-frosted request permissions to tweet you cat pics?
Sure. I would love to see your kitty. Coconut tree. Camel. Bedouin tent. Rock. Well, I mean, it makes sense for the Bedouins to move around.
Not like this, normally.
Eh. TPs. Baby windmill palm. Christmas palm.
Oh, Christmas palm. Oh, Christmas palm. I think I need some lip balm. Hey, it's those weird trees.
Baobabs. I think. Yep, baobabs. Lion. I was about to say that.
They probably said it too quiet for the audience here, so you can say it anyway.
Maybe I'm a lion. Wait, that was just turning into Kashmir.
Maybe I'm a giraffe. I don't know what's giraffe do.
Hippo.
God, the deadly murderous hippo.
There is this sensation of practically every living being of constituting a center of tension and of resistance. That is to say, of being a little bit blocked, or shall I say, of being in the way, being in one's own way. Imagine the opposite.
Prickly pear.
Let us suppose, for example, that you got up in the morning with a feeling of total transparency. There's no resistance in your organism to the external world. You just float through it. You're part of it, it's part of you. And just in the same way, for example, that when you see, if you see well, you aren't aware of your eyes. But if there's something wrong with your eyes, and you see spots in front of you, then you are looking at your eyes, and your eyes are getting in your own way.
Hyena.
And so in exactly the same way,
Hyena.
the perfect form of man is unaware of himself, because he doesn't get in his own way. He is thus, in this sense, completely transparent.
Water buffalo. Or wildebeest.
Sugar Frosted says, Dumb Cat Fix tweeted.
Yay.
Followed by, maybe I'm a Leo, but I'm not a lion. Womp, womp, womp.
Greed. Lion.
Font.
It's another lion. Hyena, wildebeest. What have we over here? Whatever you want to do, think about what precedes and what follows, then go do it. If you don't think it through, you're likely to begin with spirit, but give up when something unexpected happens. Expect that all things worth doing require discipline, practice, and giving over everything you have. The pain and fear of death crushes all pretentiousness. The most important thing is to live right now, in the best way possible.
Sugar Frosted says, I did not come up with that bad pun. It was Deep Purple. I think his sand continent is not the kind of continent.
I'm gonna make it to the end before you. Watch me.
Where are you even going, silly tent?
Ooh. Licuala orbicularis. Anyway, it's 11 now, though. So...
Maybe it's 11. Autoplay?
Mm-hmm. Just goes around, turning into things. But yes, it's 11, so that means we are done for the night. Nightshade is probably up next. Going to be streaming momentarily here, I think. If not, though, we will be back on Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern for Thursday Throne, where we'll be playing more Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. And then next weekend, something. I don't know what. Actually, next weekend might be the yes, next weekend is probably going to be the E3 post show, where I will talk about Bubsy, about the new Bubsy game, because I am more excited for that than I probably should be.
3 E's.
I have fond memories of Bubsy. So anyway, yes, thank you everybody for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Good night. Oh, save and
Good
exit. I should have said good night when I was a bit closer to actually signing off. There we go. And